Field Yates and Mel Kiper have released a 3-round mock draft on ESPN, and, well, there's a trade in there for the Tennessee Titans. We're going to break it all down and tell you what I think about this mock draft from Yates and Kiper. We appreciate you joining us here on Titans Today. I am your host, Jace Andrews, and if you're looking for Titans draft coverage, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button because we'll be covering the 2024 NFL Draft all throughout the next couple of weeks. And I'm telling you, you're not going to find better draft coverage than right here on Titans Today. Plus, subscribe. It's free. That's the best thing. If you don't like it in 2 weeks, guess what? You can unsubscribe. You're not going to hurt my feelings, so I promise you, you're not going to find better place than right here. So hit that subscribe button. We got Titans coverage for you all through the next 2 weeks. Let's start out with this mock draft. Picks 1 through 8. Pretty obvious pick for the Titans, but we'll go through it. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, the top 2 quarterbacks. Drake May heads to New England. Marvin Harrison in Arizona. J.J. McCarthy in a trade goes to Minnesota. Malik Neighbors at 6 will go to New York. Joe Alt, there he is, at number 7 with the Tennessee Titans. Dallas Turner, the edge, is picked at number 8. It's just the obvious pick at number 7 at this point. I can't say that I'm surprised. I can't say that I'm sitting here thinking, oh, wow, it's Joe Alt again. No, it's just the way it goes. You need an offensive tackle. This guy may be one of the better offensive tackles we've seen in an NFL draft in a long, long time with a PFF grade of 90.7, allowing just 1 sack, and he has 2 hits, 2 hurries, 2 penalties. This guy has been really, really good throughout his entire career at Notre Dame, and I've heard this said a lot, and I agree with it. He could be an all-pro right away. People expect him to come into this league and just immediately be a guy that you can expect a very, very, very good game from and potentially being one of the best tackles in the league from day one. So what did Mel Kiper and Field Yates have to say about it? They said, quote, sure, an offensive lineman in back-to-back drafts might be boring for Titans fans, but did you watch Tennessee's line last season? Alt is my top-ranked tackle, and he could step in on the left side on day 1. Couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, it sucks. I don't want to take offensive linemen 2 years in a row when you're having these high-valued picks. However, you consistently look at this Titans offensive line, and yes, Bill Callahan hopefully will help it a lot. It just wasn't good last year. And no matter which way you slice it, no matter which way you try and look at this, it doesn't really matter if you pick an offensive lineman when that's the need. If you pick a wide receiver, it doesn't matter because guess what? Will Levis will still have pressure. He's not going to be able to get to him. It's just the right pick if he's there. If he's not, then we can have a discussion about what's next. But if he's there, I think you have to take him. And if you don't, I don't know what you're doing. All right, I mentioned a trade in this draft. It's between the Titans. It's between the Giants. Mel Kiper and Field Yates. What are they putting up there? Well, we'll tell you about that in just a minute, and we'll reveal the trade details. Before that, though, Prize Picks is a super amazing daily fantasy sports app, and you can get a $100 deposit match by going to prizepicks.com/CLNS and using code CLNS. Now, I know football season hasn't been going on for a little bit now, and we're all kind of a little sad and want some more football. However, there's still a lot of cool sports stuff going on. We got the NBA playoffs going on. The NBA play-in games start tomorrow. I've got a couple of picks in for that. You can fade me. You can ride me. Whatever you want to do, I'm telling you. Go put some in, though. For tomorrow's games on my picks, I've got LeBron James more on a demon 9.5 assist against the New Orleans Pelicans. I feel as though he is going to fit in very well there. Or excuse me, LeBron James is going to be able to really attack the defensive side of the Pelicans. And then Trae Young, more, he plays best when the lights shine bright. Let's be quite frank. Whenever he was in college, whenever he is now in the NBA, he's always just played better when the lights shine bright. So I'm going to go more there than 22.5 points. I've been hitting that line pretty consistently. PrizePicks also offers injury insurance so that now your entries stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. For basketball games, if you have a player who exits the game in the first half and does not return in the second, that player projection won't count against you and the rest of your entry stays live. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what makes PrizePicks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and using code CLNS, you're going to get that first deposit match of up to $100. Shout out to PrizePicks. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. All right, here's the trade. The Titans trade to the Giants. Their round 2 pick swaps getting number 47 from the Giants. Giants getting pick number 38. But the Titans get back into the 3rd round with this one. Round 3, pick number 70. Weren't in the 3rd round. Now they are. All they had to give up in return was round 5 at pick number 146. Do you like this trade? Type Y for yes or type N for no. I want you to let me know what you're thinking about one. Is it something that you would like to see? Is it something that you think, nah, that was dumb. I don't want to do that. Let's keep our pick 38 and go after somebody. Well, maybe it's more important about what they did with that pick. So, what did Kiper and Yates do? Well, pick 45, Ricky Pearsall went to the Saints, Jalen Polk to the Colts. Adisa Isaac, talented edge rusher from Penn State. I kind of like the pick. And then Marshawn Kneeland goes to the Jaguars and Jer'Zhan to the Bengals. You really need an edge. I'm not going to disagree with this pick whatsoever, to be quite frank. I know this defensive line has been struggling, let's say, without Jeffrey Simmons and now with the Nico Autry. It's something that I think they need to address. I know that Sebastian Joseph-Day played decently with the Chargers last year, but I just don't see him being an everyday starter. And I think this defensive line, especially with two guys who I don't know if I consider 100% starters yet, Sebastian Joseph-Day and Keandre Coburn, who I remind you was on a practice squad last year, it just doesn't work for me in that mindset. Mel Kiper had this to say, saying, quote, Isaac's production, 7.5 sacks last season, and tape are comparable to that of former teammate Chop Robinson. Isaac is a really good player. Tennessee ranked 31st in the league in sacks per dropback last season at 11.1%, end quote. Played well last year, and heck, the comparison to Chop Robinson, I kind of like it. He fits in well with that type of player. He's very much an edge rusher at the finest. I like to line up like you see a lot of the new edge rushers line up. Micah Parsons, Aiden Hutchinson. You see him, that little kind of outside stance looking straight at the quarterback. 33 pressures last year. Pretty dang good. Only 8 sacks to come of it, but still pretty good. 36 sacks the year prior with, 36 pressures with 4 sacks in the year prior. He's been able to, when he gets back there, get the sack more often. Obviously, that comes with maybe allowing yourself pressures, and Chop Robinson and him just allowed for this to have a really, really amazing front one. I like this pick. I like it. I think it's a very good one that the Titans could bring in here. I think it's good that you got this off the trade-off, so you also get back into the third round. It's something that you need. It's something that could really help out your depth chart here because, again, I do not think Keandre Coburn is a starter in the NFL, much less even a backup at this point, I think, is kind of tough to see. But it's something that I think needs to be addressed with the edge. I think this gets it done. Obviously, we don't know what Denard Wilson is going to run, if he's going to run a 4-down lineman, 3 linebacker set, or if we're going to continue what we've seen with what we saw at Bravel, 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers. We'll have to kind of see. I would expect the same, but we don't know that for certain. Okay, with the trade, you're back in round 3 now. Obviously, you traded that pick last year to go up and get none other than Will Levis. And so now you sit here and you look at yourselves and you think, okay, how are we going to go about this and get to from your pick here? Well, here's the thing. We sit here and we think, okay, how exactly are we going to get this round 3 trade going? What are we going to do with the round 3 pick now? Well, let's kind of see what happened. Junior Colson was the pick for the Tennessee Titans here. Mohamed Karma went to the Cardinals, and then Jaden Hicks went to the Jets. But Junior Colson, the linebacker from Michigan. Interesting pick here. I'm not saying I don't like Colson. I'm not saying that. But I will say this. Linebacker I don't think is my first priority. Well, what did Kiper have to say about it? Let's go to him. Excuse me, Yates. Quote, speaking on Michigan, how about Colson's fit with Tennessee? He would add immediate toughness to a Titans defense that lost Azeez Al-Shaair in free agency to Houston, end quote. Again, the linebacker room is, I think, pretty nice. Gibbons, I think, is an underrated player. Kenneth Murray, they've already talked about his role and the potential of him going in here and being a really, really good guy to have on your depth chart. Arden Key played well last year. Harold Landry had a good time being an edge rusher in some ways and also playing linebacker. I just think I would rather have a wide receiver here, to be quite frank. If you're going to go to the third round and you already got an edge and an offensive tackle that I both like, I'm not going to complain about those, why are you not going wide receiver? I know that we have Calvin Ridley. I know that you got DeAndre Hopkins. But I just don't see from there who else on this roster is going to be the premier wide receiver number 3. I don't trust Treylon Burks. I think they might trade him anyway. You have Nick Westbrook-Ikine, who I liked last year, but is he truly a wide receiver 3? I can't say that for certain. So that's the only pick there that I'm kind of confused with in 3-round mock. But overall, I think it's pretty solid. What would you grade this, though? A, B, C, D, or F? What are we thinking on this mock draft? Let me know down in the comment section. I know that there's some picks that maybe you like, some picks you don't. Let me know what you're thinking. I think it's probably a C plus, maybe a B minus. It's really close to me. If you don't get a wide receiver in round 1 or 2, I just think you have to get one in round 3. But that's just the way I see it. Maybe you see it differently. And hey, we're all entitled to our own opinions, and I like discussing stuff in the comment section. So hopefully we can continue to do that. So get down there and comment what you think. But for now, Titans fans, that's all we got for you today. We do appreciate hanging out with us. Hit that subscribe button because we're putting out Titans draft coverage all throughout the next 2 weeks. You're not going to miss out on it. So we really do appreciate you. And for now, tighten up. Peace out.